Chris, before you have to go,
yes,
your
before you
thoughts
take off, Chris,
on Black Adam.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I think the trailers completely misrepresented the movie. I thought Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson did a really good job trying to not be himself, trying to actually play a character. I also feel that I really like the JSA, the Justice Society of America. And then, the dynamic between Dr. Fate and Hawkman was great. Pierce Brosnan was fantastic. Actually, I thought the whole cast was fairly decent. I felt they spent a little bit too much time on the sort of the mother-son relationship and her brother or whatnot. That was just, it got tired after a while. And, I think that could have better connected to the story from the past. I know that they were trying to make that happen, and it didn't do it as well as it should have. So look, for me, the movie, overall is a 6 as a film. As an experience, as a popcorn movie, it was a 9 or better because the audience I saw it with was packed. And I'm fortunate enough that I saw the movie in Burbank, and The Rock actually showed up to introduce the screening. He was just hanging out and introducing screenings of Black Adam at the theater, which was pretty cool. So if you go to the Film Threat YouTube channel, you can see the Rock coming out and talking to the audience. It's pretty awesome. And I'll tell you, the applause was genuine. Like, people in my theater just going nuts. Like, hey, this is just dumb fun. I mean, look, check your brain at the door. You don't need it. So, but wow, I had a really good time. I'd like to, although we'll say this, Superman got the biggest applause at the very end. At the very end, we knew it was coming. No surprise, but it got the biggest applause. And here's what I'll say about that. We are hungry now. We are hungry for hope and hopeful, not just film experiences, but people that speak to positivity and hope in our world, because frankly, we live in a very dark time. I mean, many people are black-pilled, so to speak, or talk about we live in clown world. We were talking about children being exposed to things at an age they should not be. We are and people defending that. We live in a very dark time. And what George Lucas did in the 1970s when he was working on Star Wars was, I want to make a fairy tale for kids that is positive and stands in contrast to the dark movies that were mostly made in the 70s. We were coming out of Vietnam. A president resigned in disgrace. The world was dark in the late 60s, early 70s. And what George Lucas did is stood in contrast to that. And so it's so popular these days to say things like, well, we're gonna do this, but we're gonna do it dark. Look, we're gonna do the story of Tinkerbell, but it's gonna be dark. Also, we're gonna switch the gender and ethnicity. Look, nobody cares. Stop with that shit. Give us something hopeful, something that we can aspire to be. And I think that the reason Superman at the end of Black Adam got such uproarious applause, like I have not seen in a theater since the last time I saw RRR. I had to get that in. It shows people want that. Like dark, we've done it. You can't just throw the word The Empire Strikes Back of whatever franchise, and that's going to hold. We don't want that now. We need hope. We need not just hope in our media, right? But also in our leaders. Where are leaders saying, you know what? There are problems in this world. We can solve it. We can do it. And by the way,
Speaking
Henry
of
Cavill.
hope, there you go.
Hey everyone.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to start
wanted
it.
to wait until the weekend was over
We'll just
before
let it go.
posting this, because I wanted to give you all a chance to watch Black Adam. But now that plenty of you have, I wanted to make it official that I am back as Superman. And the image you see on this post and what you saw in Black Adam are just a very small taste of things to come. So there's a lot to be thankful for, and I'll get to that in time. But I want to thank you guys most of all. Thank you for your support, and thank you for your patience. I promise it will be rewarded.
There you go. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Wow.
interrupt you there, Chris.
No, that
but
was
yeah.
great. That was great. But see, that's what I mean. To me, seeing the audience react so strongly to Superman, which represents hope, represents positivity, represents self-sacrifice, represents he's not about playing the victim. You know what I mean? I think what is the quote about if you play the victim, you basically become your own oppressor, right? You are your own oppressor because you choose to be a victim. Like I've never like I think anyone that subscribes to that has some issues they need to deal with. Okay.
No, you're absolutely right. But sadly, in the last 10 years, when Cavill has put on that suit, he hasn't played the hero. He has played the victim. I mean, he's the depressed guy that this is all my fault. And I want to play Superman.
I'm actually not talking about Henry Cavill. I'm talking about just the society as a whole. We almost celebrate victimhood, and we need to stop doing that because it rewards people who want to declare themselves a victim for whatever reason that they have. And all of us, every single person on this stream and everyone listening to and watching the stream, everyone has struggled. Everyone has been through hardship. I don't even care what your advantages or disadvantages. We all go through hardship. And you know what? We aspire to emerge better, aspire to learn the lessons from mistakes we made in the past and just to be better people. And Superman represents all of that positivity. If you made a movie that was just hopeful and positive and sugar-coated and whatever it is, and maybe a little schmaltzy and cheat, like, you know what? I think the American public would eat it up. And the reason they'll eat it up is because we have lived in such dark time. We have the people making the intellectual property who are privileged and should be humbled by the fact that they get to work on a Marvel television show, attacking the audience before they've even seen the show. Before they've even seen the show, they're attacking the audience in the content of the show. How did we get to this place? How? It's disgusting. It's disgusting to me. So please go to the Film Threat YouTube channel. Watch the little 5-minute video of The Rock. You'll see a guy that appreciates his audience, that loves his audience, that respects his audience, that is a showman. He's still got a little bit of the wrestler showman in him. You'll see from that short video. Yes, I'm plugging my channel. But what I'm saying is I think we are starved for positivity. So reject what you think is in this manufactured zeitgeist. That's not the real zeitgeist. The zeitgeist that's here now is manufactured BS. It is not the true zeitgeist of what Americans want to feel and be exposed to, because you've got an Indian movie in Telugu that is tearing it up all over the world, not just here in the United States, but also in Japan. You've got Top Gun Maverick, also a story about redemption, positivity, accomplishing one's goals, none of this victim narrative being championed. That is going to be the number one at the box office this year. And look at other films, right? I think, you know, I just think that we're starved for messages of positivity. So I would encourage any creator or people out there, speak to that. We want to hear problem solving, not like the world is dark and I think we're done with it. We've been through a dark phase. Let's come out of this dark phase and look for some positivity.